Hi everyone, this is Dr. Malego. Today I'm going to talk about finals week. And anyone who's ever been through college knows that finals week can be a really stressful time for students. In many classes, the grade you receive on your final exam can make or break the grade that you receive in the class. That's a lot of pressure, so I have a few suggestions to help you finish your semester strong. So first of all, you want to know if your finals are cumulative or not. A cumulative final is going to be a final that covers content from the entire term, where sometimes instructors just have a final exam, but really it's just the last test in the class, and it maybe only covers a few weeks of content. Next, you want to set yourself up for success by having a few things in order before finals week begins. Like, for example, make sure you have clean clothes to wear, like your laundry's not exploding everywhere and making chaos for you. Make sure you have some food to eat, including maybe some special snacks you like to have, and things like that, so that you're not looking for food in the middle of time that you might be needing to spend studying. And finally, clean up your study space. So make sure that you have an adequate place where you're living, where you can actually study and sit down and there's not piles of mess everywhere. Ideally, you'll start preparing for your finals at the beginning of the semester. But we all know how life gets in the way and suddenly finals week just sort of sneaks up on you. So you want to get your notes out and you want to take a look through and see, is there anything you're still shaky on? Anything maybe you never really felt confident on throughout the whole semester? You want to make a list and ask your professor for some more information on those things. Also, ahead of time, you want to make sure you organize all your materials. You have your textbooks, you have your notes, you know where everything is from that class in like neat little stacks for each class. A week ahead of time, go through all your schedules one last time and make sure you're positive that you know the date and the location and the time for each of your finals. Finals week usually follows a different schedule than the rest of the term. So sometimes like you might have a class that normally is at 9 o'clock on Monday and now all of a sudden it's 1 o'clock on Wednesday. So really check and double check to make sure that you know the right place to go, because if you miss a final, sometimes you're not going to be able to make that final up, and that could be devastating. I always like to create a special schedule for finals week. So what I would do is I will print out a schedule on paper for finals week alone. First thing, I will go in and I will mark when all my finals are. Then I'll mark in things like when am I going to eat, when am I going to sleep, when am I going to exercise, because those things are all really essential to you performing at your best. If you get into a final and you're tired and you haven't been eating well, maybe you're hungry because you haven't eaten at all, or all you've eaten is candy or something like that, you're going to have a really hard time remembering the content that you need to remember in doing your best. So then you're going to decide where and when you're going to study for each final. Yes, also where, because sometimes there's a special place that just works better for you to study for a specific topic, for a specific class. The other thing you want to avoid is just having big blocks of time that say study. You want to make sure that you're being specific about what class you're studying for, and you're looking ahead and seeing which final is coming, which finals are you most concerned about, and you're pacing out your study time so that you're not cramming at the very last minute or having to stay up all night long to prepare for your finals. One of my favorite study strategies is to go through my notes and to make questions up like as if I were the teacher. And I would make questions up and then actually put them on flashcards a lot of times. And sometimes I would just make outlines and study from that. But I was most successful when I would use index cards and actually just write the question on one side and the answer on the other side. The other thing that's really helpful for me is to create mnemonic devices to remember things. So you might remember learning like Roy G. Biv to learn the colors of the rainbow. And all that is a mnemonic device that helps you remember the colors in that specific order. I also sometimes, being a musician myself, sometimes I set the content to music. So you might think about learning the ABCs or the states and their capitals with a song where you can take a melody of anything. It could be like your favorite song, and make lyrics up that help you remember something that you're struggling to remember in one of your classes. And then when you get to a question about that, you can be like, oh yeah, and you think of that song, and then that helps you remember the content. Finally, work hard during finals week so you can finish strong. Look at the end of the week as the light at the end of the tunnel, and think about how good you're going to feel when you know that you've done your personal best throughout finals week so that you can finish strong and be a college success story. Thanks for watching.